You're watching NBC5 News at 6.
Developing right now, newly released documents are shedding light on a shocking child endangerment case.
Yeah, these arrest affidavits of Andrew Fabula and Paige Harkins paint a very disturbing picture. Our Seth Voorhees is live now with some new details for us. Seth.
Yeah, those documents released within the last hour by the Wise County Sheriff's Office do provide some more specific details to the conditions that those 4 children were living in. The documents spell out what Wise County deputies saw when they responded to the home of Andrew Fabula and Paige Harkins Tuesday morning for a possible physical disturbance. According to an affidavit, deputies saw a man and woman outside the shed where they lived in Newark. They were smoking. The affidavit goes on to say that they found 4 children inside the home, all covered in feces. 2 of those children were inside a dog kennel. The only source of heat was what the documents called an unsafe space heater. They were easily within reach of the children and next to where they had been sleeping. The place also had no electricity. It did have electricity, but no indoor plumbing. There was a non-connected toilet that the children would use. It had trash bags around the bowl. The children's clothing and bedding were dirty, and deputies said the children's diapers appeared to have not been changed in a lengthy amount of time. Deputies also said the children appeared malnourished. They are in the custody of Child Protective Services. Now, Fabula and Harkins were arraigned yesterday, and both of them remain here at the Wise County Jail. Reporting live in Decatur, Seth Voorhees, NBC5.
All right, Seth, thank you. Amazon is pulling the plug on New York City as a headquarters location after running into some local opposition. And tonight, some wonder if Dallas, which was a finalist, could be back in the running for thousands of high-paying jobs and a huge investment by Amazon. Ken Kaltoff live in Dallas with some answers for us.
Well, the Dallas mayor says that he called Amazon today to remind top officials that doors are still open here in Big D. The Reunion Arena site here was a key in the Dallas Amazon bid, and we got news about Amazon pulling out of New York City, perched up above this site with some Dallas officials today.
It was kind of a high five. I mean, we're happy.
That was the reaction from Dallas Councilman Lee Kleinman as we looked down on parts of downtown that were said to be very attractive to Amazon in a bid that asked the company to help Dallas too.
We've talked to Amazon about how they can help us with our schools, how they can help us with our affordable housing.
See the high-speed rail.
This model was built for the Dallas Amazon bid by architecture firm KXAS. It showed how 3 big owners of mostly vacant land could stitch together an enormous new city around the edge of downtown Dallas.
I think this shows that when you bring different landowners and different developers, creative people together, you can do so much more than each of those could do separately.
It did seem like Dallas was right there to the bitter end.
That we're balanced.
The Dallas mayor says he called a top Amazon official today to remind her of all that.
They loved us. There was no question, and she continues to want to keep an open relationship and an open dialogue going.
So we invest in tech, and we've been at it for over 20 years.
Visiting Amazon's current headquarters in Seattle when the HQ2 search began, we met Matt McElwain, who was an early Amazon investor. About dropping New York, McElwain told me today, I do think the decision creates opportunities for finalists like Dallas to court Amazon around areas of deep expertise in your market. Dallas could become a center of excellence in key areas over time. The same things pitched to Amazon are offered to others for a downtown relocation campus that could also help neighborhoods.
Even if Amazon doesn't come here, that realization was a huge win for Dallas.
So parts of that model could still be built, maybe by Amazon. Mayor Rawlings tells us that the Amazon executive told him today the company is focused on Northern Virginia as the second headquarters for now, but the company knows there are options here. Reporting live in Dallas, Ken Kaltoff, NBC5.
All right, Ken, a smaller new Amazon campus in Nashville will also still be built, according to the company's statement today.
The attorney for Dallas City Council member Kevin Felder says his client did nothing wrong. Meanwhile, police are investigating whether Felder was involved in a crash with a scooter yesterday morning. Police towed Felder's car outside a city council meeting last night. They're investigating if Felder failed to stop and render aid following an incident involving a scooter in South Dallas. Attorney Pete Schulte says Felder confronted the scooter rider for zigzagging in the road and says there was no collision.
Councilman Felder tried to get around him. At that point, Councilman Felder pulled over. The young man threw the scooter on the ground, came around to the driver's side, and started yelling at Councilman Felder.
Felder has not been charged with any crime.
New at 6, Honda must pay $37 million to a Dallas woman left paralyzed by a crash in 2015. 27-year-old Sarah Milburn broke her neck in the rollover crash. A jury determined that the seatbelt design in the third row middle seat was a factor because most people don't know how the two-part system works. Milburn's family is advocating for a Sarah's Law that would ban this type of seatbelt system in the future. The longtime superintendent of Lovejoy ISD resigned suddenly this week amidst allegations of inappropriate conduct.
The school board accepted Ted Moore's resignation last night and sent a letter to families citing adult victims. Deanna Zoga is in Collin County with the new details.
I've been in the school business almost 40 years now.
For 14 years, Ted Moore, seen in this 2017 interview with NBC5, led Lovejoy ISD as superintendent. Wednesday, the school board announced his sudden resignation with a letter to families saying in part, in order to protect the confidentiality of adult victims, we cannot and will not share the reasons we find ourselves in this position today. School board president Chad Collins goes on to say, quote, we are confident that our administration, campus leadership, and this board will maintain our exemplary education, culture, and values in Lovejoy in spite of the inappropriate conduct by our former superintendent. But the district has not offered any other details of the alleged inappropriate conduct.
What I would like to know is what steps they are taking to move forward, because you cannot control an individual's choice.
I want to see the community come together to move forward. I don't think it's helpful for any of us to speculate.
Parents Christy Scholl and Stephanie McAfee say they approve of how the school board handled the resignation. But Diane Redman, who lives in the district, has questions.
If there really is some serious misconduct, why was he allowed to resign versus be, fired for cause?
A longtime district watchdog who runs a blog called LovejoySchools.com says the board should investigate.
They need to get an attorney that is looking out for the kids' interests and the taxpayers' interests instead of Ted Moore's interests. I don't think they've had that in the past.
For now, the board has named the Assistant Superintendent of Operations to head the district in the interim. In Collin County, Deanna Zoga, NBC5.
The district did provide a letter that former Superintendent Ted Moore sent to staff citing health reasons as the reason for his retirement. Neither Moore nor the school board president returned our requests for more information today.
A train crashed into a semi-truck stalled on the tracks in Denton County this morning, and it was caught on camera.
You can't stop!
It happened near Sanger. The BNSF train was traveling from Tulsa to Temple when this happened. Fortunately, no one was hurt, and the train did not derail. We are keeping tabs on the race to replace term-limited Dallas Mayor Mike Rawlings. At least 10 people have said they are running for the job, but on the eve of the filing deadline, only 7 have submitted paperwork. We will let you know what the final tally is. Election Day is May 4th.
Interim Texas Secretary of State David Whitley's confirmation may be in question tonight, and now he is apologizing for his office's flawed rollout of a list of 95,000 suspected non-citizen voters. Christy Nelson is in the newsroom with the new details. Christy?
Whitley wrote a letter to state lawmakers, first reported by the Texas Tribune, admitting his office made mistakes, but ultimately he stands by the list. Whitley calls it an attempt to ensure the accuracy of the state's voter rolls. Others have called it an attempt to intimidate and suppress legitimate voters. Multiple lawsuits have already been filed, and already thousands of names on the list have been confirmed as Texas citizens. When a Dallas State Senator tried to get answers out of Whitley at his confirmation hearing last week, Whitley was reluctant.
How do you define voter suppression?
I've heard the term voter suppression used.
How do you define it?
I think it's irrelevant how I would define it.
Well, you're the Secretary of State, sir, and it's relevant to me if I'm going to vote for your confirmation.
Whitley eventually said that he's heard the term used anecdotally as an effort to discourage voting and that he doesn't think his office has done that. We asked Senator Royce West's office today if he will vote for Whitley's confirmation. They told us no comment at the moment. A confirmation vote has been postponed. Whitley needs a 2/3 majority vote from the Texas Senate. It is possible he's not there yet. Back to you.
Thanks, Christy. Possible contenders for John Cornyn's Senate seat, the Democratic names being floated tonight, and a response already from the senator.
Plus, dipping highway, the problematic spot in North Texas, and why TxDOT can't fix it yet.
And a story to warm your heart on this Valentine's Day, a gift from strangers inside Baylor's cancer unit that brought a lot of smiles today.
Gorgeous weather out there today, but a cold front, on the way. When it will be the strongest and who could end up seeing some rain with it.
Coming up all new tonight at 10, getting a deal on your next medical procedure, how you can shop around for healthcare services online and save money by paying up front. Medical reporter Bianca Castro explains how it works tonight on NBC5 News at 10.